Sharon saved her supply chain from cyber risk and ended the office goat debate.
Let's get some perspective now. Carrie Wibben joins us, president at Exiger, a company who deals in the supply chain space, helps others to navigate risk there. And we appreciate you coming on because there's a lot to talk about with Boeing. There's drama that Evan just talked about today's Capitol Hill hearing, but more broadly, we hear about these quality control problems that the company had for some time. Do you have any thoughts from your experience on how we got here, on how a great American company like Boeing found itself in the place where the CEO was today?
Hi, Connell. Yeah, thanks so much for having me. And I have a lot of thoughts. This incident, the latest in a series of troubling safety-related issues, quality control issues, it's chilling, but at this point, not surprising. Our Exiger clients are already very actively and proactively tracking and managing this exact type of risk. And in my opinion, boards and CEOs really need to wake up because multi-tier supply chain management and ensuring the integrity of our supply chains is not just about compliance. It's about protecting lives. It's about maintaining trust in our critical infrastructure. So to unpack this issue a bit, specifically to the titanium counterfeit matter, the U.S.'s withdrawal from titanium production and its failure to strengthen diverse supply chains has really led to reliance on adversarial sources, namely China and Russia. And I think to Boeing's credit, they have tried to intentionally diversify away, despite there being a hard sanction prohibiting sourcing of titanium from Russia. They are still very reliant, in this case specifically, for what was reported on Chinese sourcing. And in this case, the Chinese sourcing, it looks like, was falsified and actually counterfeit. So this is exactly what we do. We help our clients identify these issues. We help them have deep visibility, leveraging our AI and our technology so they can actually do the appropriate level of quality control end to end into their supply chains all the way down to raw materials.
So what's your sense here? Is it something Boeing was missing in their own technology or some sort of a cultural issue at the company? Because that issue that you bring up where the FAA is investigating these questionable how this questionable titanium got into Boeing jets is just one of many problems, right? There's, with literally a door plugs flying off planes, and the list of things that has happened at the company. So they're going to have a new CEO later this year. Apparently, it's tough to find a new CEO at this point, according to reports. Does that surprise you? And what do you think's going on, big picture, at Boeing?
Yeah, no, I think it is a myriad of issues, just all sort of kind of being conflated. And the CEO, I was able to catch a little bit of the hearing, testified to his perception that at this point, it's not a lack of mandates or expectations that have been communicated from the leadership at Boeing from himself, but it's really a lack of training where the workforce, he said, has not fully implemented the guidance in terms of, okay, if you see if the part is not on time or if it's non-conforming, stop the production line immediately. It's just not happening.
What type of person do they need in there? Like, what type of experience would you say would be the right type of person now to take over?
Well, it's not a job that you have to be a little bit crazy in my mind to volunteer for that job. This is not a challenge that it's not for the faint of heart. So I am hopeful that a very courageous and capable leader does stand up and is willing to take on this challenge. But the issues are pretty systemic at this point. But what we're seeing specifically here, you asked about what's going on, what happened.
Yep.
So again, it's a complete lack of visibility to the depth that is necessary to ensure trustworthiness and resilience in that supply chain. So in this case, just to unpack it very quickly, and this is what we can see very, very, very fast and easily in our platform, in our AI solutions. You have Tier 1. You have Spirit Aerosystems supplying into Boeing. They're doing the assembly of the fuselage and the doors and other things. At Tier 2, you have Turkish Aerospace Industries making the parts that are supplying to Spirit. And at Tier 3, you have a company called TIG, Titanium International Group, that is a distributor that is supplying from a Tier 4 entity called HYFC. And then at tier 5, you have the mill, which is the source of the falsified raw material titanium that's of issue here. So the real initial failure or lack of, I think visibility is because Boeing probably had no idea that a distributor at tier 4 was actually not doing, or at tier 3 and HYFC at tier 4 were not doing the appropriate quality and control checks to ensure that the sourcing was trustworthy, reliable, and met quality standards.
And then the whole thing comes crashing down, essentially. Carrie Wibben, thank you for explaining all of that with your experience at Exiger. Thank you.